Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to the Rave Hackers channel. My name is Summer, I'm Rave Hackers, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you guys have been doing well, and if you are a new subscriber, hello, welcome to my channel. Today I am super excited with the holiday seasons here. I feel like stress levels tend to get a little bit high, so I wanted to find a way to help you guys not only save a little bit of money this holiday season, but also take the stress and guessing out of buying gifts and things like that. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 6 tips and tricks for avoiding fast Christmas this year. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and grab your drinks. I'm gonna go grab mine and I will see you guys back here in a minute. Alright, so before we dive in, I also just want to mention this is a vlog series that is part of a whole series for Ravemas. This is something that I am doing in collaboration with a ton of my other YouTube festival content creators. I am going to be sharing their schedules down below in the caption, so make sure that you guys check it out. We are going to be sharing a video every single day for the rest of December, so it'll be nice wholesome festival content for you guys to enjoy while we're waiting for hopefully festival season to come back in 2021. With that being said, as always, my content is going to be going live on Sundays from here on out. I share everything that is festival inspired by my festival lifestyle and essentially just teaching you how to become a more independent adult and inspiring you to build a more fulfilling and better life for yourself while collectively helping our generation create a better world for us all to live in the meantime. Okay, so I'm not sure about you guys, but when the gift giving season gets here, I feel like I always tend to go a little bit shopping crazy. And then at the end of it all, when I'm looking back on it, I bought all of these things and then I have a little bit of buyer's remorse. So when I realized that sharing items that I really needed was something that made it easy for me to communicate, I also realized a couple of other things. That I appreciated those items a little bit more, just because I knew that they were something that I was going to be using every single day. I was also saving money by buying stuff, like not buying stuff for myself and just waiting for those items to be gifted to me. I also realized that it really alleviated a lot of the stress and anxiety that my loved ones and friends would feel when trying to buy gifts, just because you don't really know what other people want, and it kind of ruins the idea of giving a gift to somebody when you're asking them like, hey, what do you want? And then you get them exactly what they tell you. You know what I mean? But then the other thing was that I was also way more excited to get those items when it finally came time, because I knew that they were things that I really needed and was going to be using on a frequent basis. Here are going to be my top favorite ways for you to just reduce your anxiety around the holidays. There's already so much going on as it is. So the first thing that I always recommend to people is just planning a trip. So essentially, for festival goers, I would recommend trying to find like a pod rave or a drive-in rave. I know that as it's starting to get colder, especially for me since I live in the Midwest, drive-ins and pods are kind of becoming a little less frequent. I would like to see something happen where we're able to go back to indoor venues, but until COVID is handled and taken care of, I just don't think that that's going to happen. So recommend that if you are in some of those warmer areas, but then you can also just plan a weekend trip together. You know, this is something where it doesn't have to just be festival related. You know, maybe you take a trip out to Red Rocks, or maybe you take a trip out to Michigan to visit Rothbury and like see the festival grounds while there's not a festival going on. So there's lots of different things that you can do. Really just trying to find a way to spend money on you all collectively is kind of the goal. The second tip that I have for you guys is plan like a nice dinner or a really nice like get together, especially here in Indianapolis. Something people really like to do is they like to do the beer tours, and then a lot of people will go and they'll do like bar hopping down Mass Ave. I wouldn't say that it's something that's super cost effective to your wallet, but it is something where you're not giving gifts to each other, you're just going out and creating memories and spending time with one another. So I feel like that's always a really good compromise, especially if you have friends that all live in the same area. Okay, so the next one that I have is really common, and I feel like people don't ever think of doing this when it comes to buying gifts for like friends and family, but doing a gift exchange. So this is a really easy way for you to just set expectations for you and either your family or you and your friends. I feel like as people tend to get older, that like friend group and family group gets bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden you're buying gifts for all of these people and it's, you know, really starting to hurt your wallet. So gift exchanges are a really great way to kind of brunt the impact of all of that money spending. Clearly you could do a Secret Santa or a white elephant exchange. You'd set a price limit and then you and whoever else is involved would pick a gift or exchange a gift. And essentially that's just you spending money on one gift instead of having to get a gift for every single one of your friends. I also think that this is something that kind of encourages a little bit more fun when it comes to the holidays, just because you can get like funny gag gifts for people. You can make it, you know, make it exciting, make it something that's going to be memorable. You know, at the end of the day, the holidays are spending time with friends and family. It's not about the gifts that you give or the gifts that you receive. It's really about making those memories. So the other thing that I always like to mention when it comes to gift exchanges is maybe instead of doing a actual present exchange, maybe you set a monetary limit and you do a charity exchange. So I've seen a couple people recommend this in the past and I really love the idea of it just because there is so much going on in the world today. You know, there are a lot of organizations and a lot of opportunity for you to donate and, you know, help invest in a cause that's really making a difference for the people around us. So that is something that I recommend. Clearly you want to do your research and make sure that you find a good charity. I know that there are a couple that people recommend staying away from, so please do your research if this is something that you're going to be interested in doing. So another thing that I've always recommended is setting like an Amazon list gift exchange. Essentially, this is something that I have found works really well with some of me and my friends, just because we've all started to move into that space where we're actually adults now. You know, we're not just living at school, we're having to find and do things by ourselves. So I've really found a little bit more value in getting things from my friends that actually contribute to their everyday life. So I essentially just have a little list on Amazon. I can put my idea like section over here for you guys. But this essentially just shows you within a reasonable amount of the different items that I really like to use. Some of my friends will just go on my Amazon list and just grab things off of that for like birthdays and things like that. So I really recommend keeping your Amazon lists up to date. If you don't support Amazon, which, you know, I totally understand, I'm working towards it as well. There are other ways to set limits and gift exchanges for lists. You can set like a clothing list. You can do that on a lot of websites. You can do it on Etsy. You know, there are other places that you can do that. So really just setting up a list overall is highly recommended. All right, so the next idea on my list was doing gift pools. So when you have a lot of friends, I feel like, especially as you're learning to kind of get out on your own, you're segueing out of college into becoming an adult, there are a lot of expensive things that you need, or even just things that, like, you know, that person loves and it's a little more expensive for just one person to buy. So like, for example, this year for my birthday, two of my best friends bought me like this really nice plant germination and like grow kit, and they usually always go in and just do a group gift together, and we found that that just works best. We can get each other something a lot nicer when we can pool all of our money and just get each other one gift that we know that person wants. So I highly recommend that. If you do have a large friend group, go ahead and just like pool your money and buy just one gift. Things like that. Obviously, the bigger your group, the less ideal that becomes, but you know, to each his own. Okay, so the last one I really needed to just throw in here, and this is buying thrifted goods for your friends and family. So I feel like when it comes to our loved ones, we always know that there are those little things that we know that they love. So like, for example, I love Gudatamen, I love EDM music, I love anything super retro, so like old Polaroids, things like that. So like, previously my parents have bought me like old record players, old Polaroid cameras, they've bought me festival tickets, things like that. But then also you can thrift different items. So thrifting has become a really big pastime of mine. My boyfriend and I really love going out and finding new different things. So I've really found a couple amazing items for Christmas this year that I am going to be gifting to my friends and family that were like secondhand thrifted items. If that's something that does interest you, I would be super happy to like make a video or do like a blog post or something for you guys of all of my like favorite secondhand stores and thrifting shops. I do a lot of it in person, but there are some amazing stores online that you can buy secondhand stuff from. So if you would like that, make sure you put that in the comments down below. But thrifting is highly recommended. Like I said, you can find some really amazing stuff for sale that, you know, other people have given away that they don't find use for. Okay, and there it is. This is my top favorite ways to avoid fast Christmas gifting this year. But essentially, I hope you liked the video. These are just my favorite tips and tricks to essentially kind of reduce the anxiety over the holidays. Like I said, I found that these are types of essentially tricks that leave people feeling not only just a little bit more confident about the gifts that they've gotten for people, but also just feeling a little less buyer's remorse and a little less anxiety over the amount of money that they've spent. So like I said, if you enjoyed the content, make sure that you comment and subscribe down below. As always, I post content every Sunday, everything inspired by the festival lifestyle and essentially just teaching you how to become your own independent adult. My goal is to teach you how to build a life that you love for yourself so that creative and collectively we can build a life that we all love together.